Are our dreams just random images fired from an unconscious brain during sleep? Or something much more important, like life-saving inner guidance? How dreams can be healing and early warning tools for disease, financial crisis, or success. And love is still one of the behavioral science's greatest unanswered questions. Hello, I'm your host, author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Welcome to Dreaming Healing, where dreams and cutting-edge scientific research meet on syndicated Dreamvisions 7 radio network. Dreaming Healing is every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, when you can call in and ask Kat questions about your amazing dreams. Talk on air. Call toll-free 833-220-1200. That's 833-220-1200. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. Welcome to Dreaming Healing on Dreamvisions 7 radio network. We've got an incredible show for you tonight. Everybody knows who Osama Bin Laden is, but did you know that there was a reward for his capture? And that in 2006, in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And we have the author of the book that tells all about that, Barbara K. Janik. But before we get into that, we're going to do our clearing and protection meditation. Then we're going to dive into the questions I've got for our author about her amazing book. Okay, so everybody get really comfortable. And if you're only listening to the show tonight and you'd like to see it, you can go to my website, The Queen of Dreams. And if you look up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see Dream Vision Radio. Click on that button. It'll take you to my website page on Dreamvisions 7 radio network, the Dreaming Healing show, and you'll see a little TV with the antennae on it. Just click that and it'll take you to the show live. And you can always text me in the YouTube chat room, and I will get your questions and your concerns, and I will give them to our author tonight, our guest. So get really comfortable in your chair. And if you're listening to us on the radio in your car, do not close your eyes. This will still work. Keep your eyes open. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a protection bubble. We are going to take a power gift and we're going to create a mirrored bubble around us that's only going to allow that which is of the highest and best to come in. Okay, ready? We're going to take 3 deep breaths and we're going to blow out any negativity. So get comfortable, kind of move your shoulders around a little bit. Feel yourself sinking deep into your chair. Feel your body just kind of relaxing, your muscles relaxing, your neck. You can move your neck if you want. Now take a deep breath in. Hold it. Imagine any negativity from the week, from the day, from the year, getting connected into that breath of life and blow it out across the room, right into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where it's converted into beautiful energy, golden energy, and returned to the universe. Let's do it again. Deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it a little longer. Now blow it out. One more time, deep breath in. Really deep, fill your lungs up. Get all that air really down there so that all the negativity can connect to that breath of life, like little tiny things of pepper. Blow it out across the room. Right into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where you see it converted into beautiful golden light and return to the universe. That way we're not littering. Now imagine holding your power gift in your hand. It can be anything. It can be your favorite flower. It can be a piece of jewelry from your family that's an heirloom. It can be something, your favorite stone, anything at all that holds the power of love for you. I want you to imagine holding it and actually swinging it all around your body to create this beautiful mirrored bubble that only allows that which is of the highest and best to come in, brought by our spirit guides. Everything else is reflected back from whence it came. We wish it so, and therefore it is. When you're ready, just open your eyes, feel yourself coming back. If you need to, put your fingertips together and press on them, and then put them together like this and pull on them. It will help ground you once again. Well, welcome to the show, Barbara Janik. We're so glad you're here. And I'd like for you, since I've been talking so long, to tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you became an author and why you decided to write this book.
Okay, so the book is based on a true life experience that I had back in 2006. I'm just basically an ordinary person. I mean, I say ordinary, but people think I'm kind of weird, honestly. But no, I'm not CIA, I'm not FBI. I'm just some person who developed a system for finding terrorists back in 2006 using MySpace. People didn't know it at the time, but MySpace was widely used for recruiting and, kind of like social media today, but back then people weren't as aware of it.
Recruiting for what?
I would say recruiting for terrorism and other nefarious type activities, but I mean, that was the premise anyways. That's the premise that I used whenever I was searching. I used MySpace in order to locate people. Back then on MySpace, you could put in an address and it would pop up with a profile. And so I was doing a lot of reverse searches and stuff like that. And so it was just like this technique I used, and it was a little more, that's just the very, very basics of it. It's all laid out in my book, but the point is that through these methods that I was using back then, I found a lot of I found some terrorists and I was able to locate them. And the biggest one, of course, and this is what the book is about, was Osama Bin Laden. And this is a story that nobody really knows about. I mean, I have some Twitter followers and a few readers and stuff like that, but it's an untold story. And so he was arrested based on my tip on August 16th, 2006. And the fallout from that was just incredible, because I mean, not only did I not get the reward money, but when I tried to tell people about it, because there was just like a massive cover up, they, for whatever reason, I have my theories, but for whatever reason, the Bush administration did not announce the arrest. And he was just sort of still out there as a boogeyman, and so yeah.
So he was actually arrested. They caught him.
Yeah.
And then what did they do? Did they just let him go? What happened?
Well, I have theories on that, but I don't want to get too into that. That's not really my expertise. All I know for sure is that that he was arrested. What happened to him after that is all just me guessing.
Okay. So, the name of your book is Chasing Bin Laden, My Hunt for the World's Most Notorious Terrorist. Do you have your book there? Can you actually hold it up? Because some of my audience will probably be online fact checking us right now.
Right. And actually this week only, and maybe other times, but I'm offering the ebook for free just because I really want the word out. Immediately after it happened, I was cyberbullied online, ridiculed, and this is why it took me so long to get around to telling the story. I had no connections, no real means of getting it out to the public. So back in maybe 6 years ago, I decided that I was going to put it all out there in a book and gather as much evidence as I could. And there's a substantial amount of evidence to indicate that something was going on in Bin Laden land back in 2006. I have 177 citations in this book. I have a master's in history, and it's all like cited. There's notes in the back, as you can see, and there's like little, note, anyway, superscripts all throughout the book. So I documented as much as I can. I also have a website, chasingbinladen.com. And on that is a research link, and it shows all my phone records and emails with the FBI, like everything outgoing in it, like basically it's got the entire documentation of what happened back then. You can look at the timeline on the phone records and see that I called the FBI multiple times. You can see the emails and see what I was calling about, because it's all, I'm telling, like I'm giving the names of terrorists and stuff like that. So it's all in the research link on the website. So I would suggest that anybody interested in the book, look at the website. There's some reviews on there. I've had 2 really great editorial reviews recently. One from Reader's Favorite, which was a 5-star. And the other is from Midwest Review of Books. And they were incredible reviews, both just like glowing. And this is from, outside parties, people that really didn't have any vested interest in helping me out. Plus a lot of random people on Amazon. If you look through the reviews are incredible. I've had such an outpouring of support from my readers, and especially from my Twitter followers. And, the process has just been so healing for me to write this book and get past the cyberbullying, get past the humiliation, and to be able to finally tell my story without shame,
We're already getting people popping in here going, oh, we're really interested in this. So I want to ask you, this is actually a memoir with an alternative story that you're talking about. So this memoir is not just about Bin Laden. It's also about you going out there trying to catch Bin Laden. And I have to ask you, because the question just came up on here. What on earth made you decide to do that? I mean, that's scary.
It's terrifying. No, at the time, and I'm going to be real honest, I was having financial problems. I was just like on the verge of bankruptcy, and I was looking for a quick way to pay my bills, And so originally I started looking into looking for missing people and looking for murderers and stuff like that. And it just sort of evolved into looking for terrorists as I looked at the numbers. Most of those terrorists were worth 5 million a piece, and it did sort of start with monetary, I wanted the money, but by the end of it, it wasn't even about that anymore, because there came a point where I realized I'm probably not going to get a dime from this, because the first terrorist I found was worth 5 million, and they wouldn't even admit they got him. It was just so obvious that there was very little chance I was going to benefit from this.
So they kind of had you working for them, doing a lot of the work. And then they didn't
pay me. No. And it, Bin Laden himself was worth 25 million. So yeah, that kind of stung. But it became about helping people and finding justice for 9/11. And really, if I did get the award money, I was planning on, sharing some of that with the victims. And I mean, I had big plans, I mean, it really wasn't about me or the money at that point. It was about something that, and this is described in my book, but when 9/11 happened, I was devastated. I mean, with the entire country, I was watching TV, and I just remember just squeezing my eyes, just praying that I could make a difference somehow, and
let me ask you something about that, because I remember everybody remembers where they were 9/11, and I was getting ready to go play tennis. I was out in Rancho Mirage in California when I got a call from one of my girlfriends who I was going to play tennis with, and her husband's Australian, and he had called her in the car and said, you need to see what's happening to your country. And so we put on the TV and we saw that. Now, I immediately called my dad. He was in special forces. He was a Green Beret. And I said, who is doing this? And my dad said there's only one person who could do this, and it's Bin Laden. That was the
Yes.
first time I'd ever heard that name. I
Yes.
was like,
Yes.
who? And he said, Bin Laden. You'll
Yes.
know more about him soon. So let me ask you something, Barbara. Why was what you did in 2006 important when it came to 9/11? Was there a connection, and why was it important that you helped get him arrested and that you wrote this book about it? Was there a connection at all?
Yes. I mean, this was 5 years after 9/11, and people wanted closure. We had, 2 wars going on, Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's like, what were we there for? And the original reason they said we were going out there was to find Osama bin Laden. So my hope was that once they found him and once they announced it, we would be able to pull our troops out and end the wars. So obviously this would have had a significant impact. I mean, maybe they wouldn't have pulled out of the wars because obviously after 2011, they didn't right away. But, my thinking at the time was that this could help stop the wars, and like save lives. Not to mention the fact that Bin Laden and, Al-Qaeda were planning another attack. I mean, there was going to be another attack, or at least an attempt.
So he was basically hiding in plain sight.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's a
Brooklyn.
master at that.
He is. Yeah. I mean, in the area of Brooklyn he was living in is mostly Middle Eastern immigrants, and he would have blended in like really easily.
And do you think they would have protected him? Do you think they would have protected him?
I don't think most Middle Eastern people support, or immigrants support Bin Laden. I don't think that they would have protected him. I just think that, either he stayed in his apartment all the time, or he just wasn't easily recognizable. Maybe he was disguising himself somehow.
And they
Or
do that.
maybe
They
just
shave.
because, yeah, I don't know if he shaved or not. I really don't. But the point is that he figured out a way to blend in. And in a Middle Eastern neighborhood, a Middle Eastern block, it would be easier to blend in than just about anywhere else. And nobody was really looking for him in America.
So take us to that moment when you're sleuthing on the
Yes.
internet, and all of a sudden you found him. You know where he is.
Right.
I mean, you had to have like felt chills all over your body, because I think you mentioned to me, Barbara, that there was a lot of psychic involved in this as well. So take it from there and take us to that moment when you're going, oh my gosh, he's right here.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned psychic, because at the time, I didn't really think I was using any sort of psychic anything, and people would ask me, well, are you psychic? Like I got asked that by members of the FBI, by CNN, just like it's all throughout the book. Like it's a common thread, right? And so, but looking back, I mean, my methods were out of the ordinary, and
like how were they out of the ordinary? What did you do that was different?
It was a series of hunches. It was like, I would see one thing and then I would go to the next and then the next and the next. And my choices weren't 100% out of logic. There was a certain amount of logic in that I'm on the internet and I'm Googling and I'm following, message boards, and, there's a certain level of logic going on. But there's also something beneath that. And I did feel spiritually motivated. Even at the time, I felt like God or the universe or whatever was directing me, to the point where not long before I found Bin Laden, I was exhausted and ready to quit. Like I was ready to give up. And I just remember that day stepping outside of the front door of my house, and there was this like extraordinary rainbow that just like, I've never seen an unbroken rainbow in front of my house before or anywhere. And it was just like arched all the way across the field. There's like cows and horses, and it's just huge rainbow. And I took that as a sign that it was like I needed to do this, like something great was going to happen. So I did feel this spiritual motivation. So it really wasn't about the money at all at that point. It was about doing what I perceived as God's will, And
it transcended into something bigger. It
yes,
started out as, oh my gosh, look at all that money. I'll bet I could do this, to something bigger. So, excuse me. Did you feel like there were maybe some synchronicities going on? I always call them God winks, where one synchronicity will lead you to another synchronicity. They seem they seem so random. And yet after you tune into them, it's like, boom, that's what I was looking for. That's what I needed.
yeah. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. I'm not familiar with the
Synchronicity.
concept. Yeah.
It's sort of like a synchronicity is like where you'll say, gosh, I wish I had some kind of a clue that I was on the right highway right now,
Yeah.
because I think I'm lost. And all of a sudden you see a sign that says, something like God's church on highway, blah, 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 blah. And you go, oh, that's it. That's the one I was looking for. And those are kind of like synchronicities. And sometimes we get them from our dreams. We'll have we'll have a picture of that in our dream, and then we see it in our waking world, and we go, oh my goodness, that was a synchronicity that bled through. Did you have that
going? Yeah, I did actually. So this is interesting because it does relate to dreams. I thought you would be fascinated by this. But yeah. So on Bin Laden's MySpace that I found, he was going by the alias The Director. And like
the
it's
director,
like the director. It's like I can't find a person from going by The Director, which is one of his aliases on the rewardsforjustice.net website, which is where I got the information, like his alias list. And his avatar was a blue seahorse. Okay. And this is kind of strange. So it's like all I had to go with was this avatar. I mean, I had nothing, And so I went to bed one night. I think it might have even been, a nap or something, but I was asleep. And as I was waking up, it struck me, because I was stuck. Like, I didn't know what to do with this. It struck me that I should search for seahorse in Arabic. And that just like struck me. And so that was the next clue, So as I was waking up, there's actually quite a bit about dreams and sleep in my book that you would find interesting, but that's just the one of those moments, But fast forward, another moment of synchronicity. I spent hours like going from one thing to the next, Googling in Arabic, and just like eventually these hunches led me to this point where I was on an Arabic message board, and I found somebody going by the screen name Hussein7. That I suspected was Osama Bin Laden, and he was going by, people were calling him the commander, and they were talking about teams out practicing, and it was a lot in there that made me think, gosh, this is the guy, And I was stuck though. I couldn't find a location. And so I gave it one more try just right before I was going to give up. And I looked at the profile page of Hussein7, and I closed my eyes, and I swear to God, I said, God, please help me find him. And then I opened my eyes, and there it was. It was an ICQ address. So I clicked on the ICQ profile, and there was a name, Ali Hussein. And, that gave me something to go on. And, at this point, I already knew that terrorists were in Brooklyn. I had already found, at least one. And so like, that's how I found him. That was the moment.
Whoa, that light bulb went on. We've got to take a break. So if you're listening, don't go away. When we come back, we're going to talk to Barbara about some of the things that she had to go through once she started sending this information to the FBI. Oh yeah, it really turns into a roller coaster ride. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
All right. Thank you.
Can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Burke. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dreamvisions 7 radio network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. For over 40 years, Omega has seen more than 1 million people come through its doors to grow, learn, and find a greater sense of purpose. With over 350 workshops to choose from, Omega offers something for everyone. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org or call 877-944-2002. Again, 877-944-2002.
Have you met your physician within yet? The Nautilus and multi-award winning book, Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing, is a memoir that takes you down the rabbit hole of healing dreams and interpretations, mixed with conventional medicine and treatments. Listen to the hookah-puffing caterpillar ask, "Who are you?" Dr. Bernie Siegel says Kathleen's story is powerful, honest, and eye-opening. Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing by 3-time breast cancer survivor Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Buy the book and audio at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
Ever had a strange dream? Nautilus Award winner, Dreams That Can Save Your Life, Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Diseases by Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos and Duke University radiologist Dr. Larry Burke. Forward by Dr. Bernie Siegel, shares how people like you self-advocated in the face of adversity and won using dreams. Read life-saving dream stories validated by medical reports. Hear how dreams of dead loved ones saved lives. Use interpretations and journaling as roadmaps in your waking world for health, wealth, and love. Dreams That Can Save Your Life. Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Diseases. Buy the audio and book at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com in English and Italian worldwide and through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other retailers.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to Dreaming Healing on Dreamvision7radionetwork.com. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, aka the Queen of Dreams, but my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. Just before the break, we were speaking with Barbara K. Janik about her amazing book, Chasing Bin Laden, My Hunt for the World's Most Notorious Terrorist. And we were talking about some of the synchronicities and dreams and aha moments that were helping her realize she was on the right track. Because remember, the FBI, there were many FBI looking for Osama Bin Laden. There was only one Barbara, only one Barbara. And at first she was motivated by the money. I don't blame her. $25 million. I'd be motivated by the money. Yes, I would, to be honest here. But pretty soon she realized that there was something bigger going on here. And she was hooked into this sleuth from her house on her computer. So just before the break, we were talking about how, she was getting these hits. Sometimes they were in dreams. Sometimes they would just be something that she would get a feeling about. She would follow those gut instincts. And it helped her discover where he was, what he was doing. And imagine having Osama bin Laden, who came from a desert, an arid desert, and he uses the blue seahorse to identify himself to the people on the internet, in the internet world, who were part of his team. So I thought that was pretty interesting. He was hiding in plain sight in every way, shape, and form. So Barbara, let's talk about what you and your family went through once you started sending the information that you were finding out about Osama bin Laden. And a lot of people didn't know who he was at that time. But you were sending this information to them saying, look, this told me he's here. This told me this is what he's called. This is, and you're giving them all this information.
Right.
Did they welcome this with open arms and say, oh, Barbara, Janik, thank you so much. You've been such a great help. What did they do?
Honestly, they did. I mean, I
Did
was
they?
thanked profusely. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
So
surprised.
the night that I found out, that morning I had called the FBI, and this is in my prologue, so it's not really a spoiler, but they were celebrating something really huge. They were hooping and hollering, and I don't know if you know FBI, but they're normally very sedate, like deadpan. Well, they were like just out there.
Give me the
you know?
facts, just the facts, man.
They put me on speakerphone, and we just shared a moment, and they asked me if I had the lotto picks, because I guess they thought I was psychic. And I mean, it was just an amazing, incredible moment. And so that day I watched television waiting for some kind of indicator that they were making an announcement. Well, when I didn't hear anything, I called the FBI again that night. And they said that there was going to be an announcement as soon as word got out to Washington, So I was promised an announcement from the president. And then the next morning, when there was no announcement, I kept calling the FBI in both New York and Houston, and they would just they were gushing over me. I mean, it was like, thank you so much for your tips. They never actually said thank you for finding bin Laden, because they can't. I mean, the words there's enough, but the thing is, they were gushing over me. I was being treated like a hero, and then,
so they had gone in and they had made an arrest.
Yes.
They had arrested him.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And they told you that they had arrested him.
Well, indirectly, yes, in many ways. One of the agents had asked me, so you think you found the big guy, meaning bin Laden? And I said, yeah, I think I did. I'm not 100%. And he goes, well, how'd you do it? So why would he say, how'd you do it, if I hadn't found the big guy? You know what I mean? So the thing is information with the FBI, and I know this from talking to them, is given out on a need to know basis. So they can't just sit there and directly give out information like that. But they can tell you without telling you, and they do. I mean, you can ask them indirect questions like, do you think it's reasonable that such and such happened? And they basically told me that my tips were helping. That's one thing they told me. They told me there was going to be an announcement from the president, and after the cover up happened, I called and talked to a New York agent. And okay, let me just give you the whole thing. Basically, I was, all right. I'm just saying that it was I don't think I want to give away too much, but the point is that, there was plenty. I was told to prove it, I called, they decided to cover it up. And, that night, whenever I was gone from being treated like a hero to all of a sudden, one of the agents called me up and said, don't call anymore, So it went from this to that within the same day. Right. And then I called the New York FBI, and I said, I know you guys got Osama bin Laden. And he says, prove it. He was challenging me because he knew that I couldn't prove it. He knew that I had nothing. But it's why would he say prove it if there was nothing to prove? You know what I'm saying? It was just so much, and it's all laid out in my book, and
Mhm.
it doesn't make a lot of sense just
No.
hearing me tell it. But
Mhm.
if you read the book and you read through the entire process, it all makes perfect sense. Like it all like lines up, you know?
Mhm. Mm. So what is your hunch? What is, I mean, do you dare share
Hunch with
with
what?
us what you think happened that turned that tide from, oh yes, we've got him and there's going to be an announcement, to don't call us anymore?
Yes. So for whatever reason, they decided that they weren't going to announce it, you know, and they were going to shut me out, not give me the reward, you know, and beyond that, they just didn't, you know. I did go in and try to collect the reward money at one point, and it just the guy was open, like it's just I don't think it was like the whole agency at the time didn't know about the cover up, like that it was going to be shut out. So
Mm.
I mean, you know, so the Texas City office was still, you know, listening to me and open to it when Houston shut me out. But
Mhm.
anyways, I feel like I missed the mark somewhere. What were you asking me?
No, no, that's fine. I just want, no, that was a good answer. What was it what do you think
Oh,
turned that tide? Yeah,
why they
why
shut
did
him out?
they?
I actually, and this, I
Because
don't
that's
want to
kind
go
of
into it too
weird. Like,
much. It's going to
oh yeah,
seem,
their celebration too.
yeah,
Don't call us anymore. I mean,
right,
that's a big step.
Washington, you know, decided they weren't going to announce it. That was the difference. You
Okay.
know, they decided that they weren't going to announce it, and why is a guess. You know,
Hmm.
I can't really get into that without seeming like it's just guess. No, I do have a chapter in my book. It's called "Whatever Happened to Osama bin Laden," that
Hmm.
does postulate my theories,
Hmm.
but
But it's a theory.
it's a
Hmm.
theory, and it's not something I'd like to get into because I know people are going to want to know that answer,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's why I put the chapter in there. But you know,
Yeah, but you
this
know
isn't
what?
a,
If it's your theory from your gut instincts and the the intuition that you were using, I'll bet you it's right. I
it
just
could
have a
be,
feeling it's
and my
right.
theory isn't just based on my own gut. My theory
Mhm.
is based on research from other journalists, from Seymour Hersh and Raylan Hillhouse. I mean, there's some pretty big names out there that suspect that something's not right with the Bin Laden story. You
Mhm.
know, in fact, their claims is that as of 2006, Osama bin Laden was under house arrest in Abbottabad in Pakistan. So I actually think that he might have been transferred to Pakistan to the bunker. So like basically he was arrested in New York and then maybe moved around a little and then wound up in Pakistan. And that's how he ended up in the bunker on 2011 in 2011. And
Mm.
so, and like I said, Seymour Hersh said that he was under house arrest in the bunker, and so
Mhm.
did Raylan Hillhouse. And what's significant about Seymour Hersh in particular is that he said that he had been under house arrest since 2006, and 2006 was the year that he was arrested. So it actually
Mhm.
lines up perfectly with my story.
Mm.
So,
Interesting. So, so tell us then. You mentioned that you all of this searching and sharing your information had daily impacts on you, your home, yourself, your partner, and your loved ones.
yes.
So can you share that with us a little bit?
Well, it was incredibly overwhelming. I wasn't sleeping properly. I was exhausted. I wanted to quit. I mean, that's when the rainbow came into play because I was ready to stop. I mean, I just like to the point where I had to go out and get sleeping pills, you know, because I needed to sleep. And so yeah, so I just was like barely hanging on. And the anxiety that I was feeling at the time is just very evident throughout the book. It's very raw, very real. The book is about me, and I do have a lot of anxiety, you know, and it's very evident, and just my own personal struggles. also was very overwhelming for my partner and for my kids. And there were times when I was neglecting my family, and like we, went to the grocery store and had to leave because I had an anxiety attack. And then like everybody's still like suffering, like food, like we went to a movie theater to try to relax, and I had to leave midway through the movie because I couldn't concentrate. Actually it was 30 minutes into the movie. So I mean, it was just an incredible amount of stress and pressure on me. The sacrifice that I made for all this was tremendous. I gave up my entire life to this cause for several weeks. For really maybe like 2 months of my life were taken. And then after that, several months spent trying to get the word out. So I would say all in all, this entire experience took up at least 6 months of my life. And then after I failed to get the word out, I was devastated for 8 years. I mean, it was like PTSD time. It was really bad.
So did you ever kind of fear for your life because of the information that you had?
Yeah, I knew something I wasn't supposed to know. I was terrified. Yeah. In fact, there's a chapter called On the Run. And right after they decided to shut me out and like not make the announcement, and after I tried to collect the reward money and was turned down, my partner and I left our kids with my dad and brother, and we went off to Austin for an entire week and just hid because I was terrified. I mean, I realized that the FBI probably knew about the apartment, and I mean, no, this like horrible paranoia set in, and I just like it. And in some ways, like I still feel it, like it never really completely, like as my book's, taking off and as people are getting the story, I'm still like this paranoid part of me. It's like, oh my God, they're going to try to stop it.
I'm feeling a little paranoid myself just with the video podcast tonight. I mean, it's like, what if they shut it down? Deborah Bouvet, who owns Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network, she's probably going, oh my gosh.
No,
but you never.
Okay, now here's the thing. They're just assuming that nobody is going to believe this story. The book's not going to take off. I mean, I'm an indie author. I'm on my own. I don't really have a formal publisher. I mean, all my marketing is my own, and so they're probably just assuming it's going to flop, and they might even be assuming that it's no good, that it's poorly written. And I would like to think that they have underestimated me, and that this is going to happen. I just think that if they were to try to stop me, it would just make them look like assholes, and it would also like validate my story,
That's true.
It's like if you protest too much, so they're probably not going to say anything or try to discredit me or, even stop me. If they were going to, they probably would have by now, but there's still this part of me. It's just like, oh my God, the more I'm out there, it's just like scary. And this is why I want thousands of downloads right now. I'm giving out my book for free for a week, maybe longer. And I want everybody to know what happened so I can feel safe. There is safety in numbers.
There are. Well, we've got to take another quick break, Barbara. But when we come back, we're going to talk about how other people can become sleuths to do what you did if they wanted to. I mean, they may be going, I don't know, do I really want to go through this? But so don't go away, everybody. We're going to be right back.
Yeah, thank you.
That every word you speak matters. What you say and how you say it can make or break a relationship or shift the outcome of any situation. Are your conversations making a difference? Faith in God, gratitude, authenticity, and giving are Teresa Velarde's heart. It's in this spirit that she's focused on making a difference in the lives she's blessed to touch. Conversations That Make a Difference is now on syndicated Dreamvision 7 radio network every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Darkest hours to brightest moments, transformation from despair to happiness, and chaos to clarity. Real people, real pain, real healing. Life-threatening illness, death, abusive relationships, divorce, and overcoming addiction are challenges these men and women faced head-on. See how they emerged stronger and happier. Buy the new book, Chaos to Clarity, Sacred Stories of Transformational Change by Reverend Patricia Caginello and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available on sacredstoriespublishing.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times bestselling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, Chaos to Clarity, and Crappy to Happy, you'll love crying and laughing through Mayhem to Miracles. Sacred Stories of Transformational Hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
Why are we here? How can we be happy? Questions asked from millennials to boomers. Crappy to Happy, Sacred Stories of Transformational Joy answers them using true stories of grit, grace, and love. James Redfield, author of The Celestine Prophecy, wrote in the foreword, "This book is a seminar about emerging truths and offers grounded solutions through the art of the comeback." Dr. Bernie Siegel, a contributing author, wrote, "Bodies die, but spirits and consciousness survive and recycle." So, grab some tissues, open your book, and prepare to cry and laugh till it heals. Crappy to Happy by Reverend Ariel Patricia and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers worldwide.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back, everyone, to Dreaming Healing on Dreamvision 7 Radio Network.com. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, aka the Queen of Dreams. My friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. Our guest tonight is Barbara K. Janik, and she's talking about the book that she wrote about the hunt for Osama Bin Laden. And we've been on quite the roller coaster ride here with the interview. I'm trying to pull, some secrets out of her, and she's given us some. But we're welcome back to the last part of our show, and it's going to go very, very quickly. So one of the things I want to ask Barbara is, a lot of sleuths are listening to us right now with this radio show, and they're going, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I could do this." What advice would you give them?
First of all, MySpace is no longer a thing. I mean, they exist, but it's not. See, MySpace was like a dating site almost. Like all the information, the reverse address searches and, reverse name searches, all that doesn't exist in current social media, unless you're like on a dating site maybe. But so you wouldn't be able to use my techniques. But home armchair detective work, sleuthing is very popular right now. And one thing that has made it popular is Michelle McNamara's "I'll Be Gone in the Dark." They've made that into a series. She was going after, I think it was the Golden State Killer. And she went through a very similar journey to mine, where she was like on this emotional roller coaster and very obsessed, and like, but hers lasted for years. I think I haven't actually read it, so forgive me if I'm wrong about any of this, but I'm just saying, like, the popularization of her story has really helped propel the amateur detective movement. But also we're getting a lot of like people like retweeting images of criminals. And I know that 1/6, the riot from last year, created a lot of news sleuthers, because people have been trying to locate the people who stormed the Capitol. And so that's definitely a thing. And especially like a lot of times there'll be somebody going on a racist rant and people will retweet it and they'll try to figure out who that person is. So even those little type of things that, I mean, whether you think they're beneficial or not, that's some way that you could get involved, is by helping to track down the most wanted, just from like maybe sharing photographs of people that might recognize them, and
That's
I
a
don't
great
know what,
idea.
and I don't know what current people's techniques are. I just know what mine were, and I know they're not really applicable today. So I wouldn't be able to do the same thing even if I wanted to, which I don't.
So basically, though, someone could read your book and take the techniques that you used and update them possibly to today in order to help them get started to a degree. Your book is a McCall pattern for a dress that might be out of style, but if you tweak it here and tweak it there and change the color and do this and do that,
I
it
suppose it
could
could be,
be.
I suppose it could be motivating for people who are interested in this type of thing, because seeing that I was able to succeed. However, the fact that I didn't get the reward money might be a little less motivating for some people, but
I know.
essentially my book is a story about, ad, somebody triumphing, in uh in the face of great, adversary. Like basically
And
it's
you
just
didn't
like
give
it's a
up.
struggle. No, I didn't. And I repeated this line twice in my book. I didn't give up and I didn't give in. And that's just me.
Yes.
I'm just a very, very stubborn person.
So tell us how we can find your book and find you. And can you hold your book up for us one more time?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so this is it.
Great book. Yes.
Yeah. Chasing Bin
Chasing Bin
Laden,
Laden.
My Hunt for the World's Most Notorious Terrorist. So it's on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, Kobo, anywhere you can find a book, it's there. Except it's not in bookstores, so you have to buy it online. Okay. I didn't get that level of distribution, but the ebook is free right now, like I said. So
And
if
how
you want
can
to
they
download
get that? How can they get the ebook?
anywhere, Kindle, the Kindle app, Kobo, Nook. I mean, anywhere's where you can buy ebooks, they're free right now. But also, if you want to support me, if you're just like, wow, this woman really needs money and
She
really
rocks.
she needs my support, buy the print book, because I will still make money off that. But right now, and the ebook's free. I don't know for how long, at least for a week, maybe longer. I just really want the word out. And honestly, that was my main motivation in writing this book, was not to make millions of dollars. My motivation was to get the word out about what happened to Osama bin Laden. And, I feel like the public deserves to know the truth.
Yes,
And,
absolutely. What about your
yeah.
website? How can they find your website or find you?
It's just chasingbinladen.com. Okay. Chasingbinladen.com. And there's all kinds of great information, links to where to buy the book, and
And how to contact you?
how to contact me. Yes, I have a contact link. I can also be found on Twitter at Barbara K. Janik.
Spell Janik for us. And your name, Barbara.
Janik. Barbara, Barbara, and then the letter K, and then Janik, Janik. So at Barbara K. Janik. I have a lot of followers, and I do like to engage with people. So if you're interested, definitely follow me. And my website, I have a newsletter, which I'm not obnoxious. I don't send out letters very often, but I do have a newsletter, and you can email me through the contact link on my website. So I do like emails, and I do like to respond, and I'll answer any of your questions. I'm very interactive. I do love people, and the main goal of my book, honest to God, is to help people. And if they can like watch me and see my struggles and learn something from it and learn how to overcome adversity, then a mission accomplished. Like I really do. I want to help people. I want the truth out, and I want to help inspire people to overcome great odds in their life and to follow the spirit, to follow their dreams, to follow
their gut instincts. It
right.
worked for you.
Yeah. And I mean,
we've come right down to the end of our show, Barbara, and I got to tell you, this was a great show. I'm getting a lot of comments on here, and I'm sure you'll get them too. And I will be sending Barbara the link to this show so she could put it on her website. So if you want to download it, you can download it from her website as well. So thank you again so much for being on the show with us today. We really appreciate it. It was a wonderful show.
Thank you. It really was. And I really enjoyed talking with you, Kat. And to all my Twitter followers, I'm going to be on tonight. If anybody wants to tweet at me and ask questions, I'm there.
Great. So, I think they were. So thank you again. And for all of you out there, if you want to read more about what I do with dreams, I'm in Good Housekeeping this month. You can just pull up Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, Dreams That Can Save Your Life in Good Housekeeping. And then in the Desert Health magazine, you're going to get a kick out of this, Barbara. I did an article on men who have pregnancy dreams.
Oh my
men
gosh.
Who dream that they're pregnant, and there's more of them than you would believe. When I first sent it in to the editor, she said, "What? No, I don't think we can do that." And then when she started researching it, she saw it's not only everywhere. A lot of men are having pregnancy dreams, but now there's going to be an app, The Pregnant Man, on the iPhone. So it's very timely. It's in Desert Health magazine. If you're out here in the desert with me, look it up. And then if you want to meet me, come to Tucson, Arizona, July 17th through the 21st for the IASD, the International Association for the Study of Dreams. I'm going to be on a panel with a bunch of doctors, which is interesting, Barbara, because you define yourself as being a geek. I just define myself as being a dreamer. And here I'm going to be on this panel with all these doctors talking about dreams in Arizona. So come in and join me at the IASD, which is the International Association for the Study of Dreams. So remember, everybody dreams, but some dreams save lives. So until the next time we meet, sweet dreams. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us this evening, and a big thanks to our producer. Tune in next time to Dreaming Healing for more cutting-edge research, live dream interpretations, and stories with radio host and award-winning author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Listen every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time with call-in live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network. Remember, everyone dreams, but some dreams save lives. Live your dreams. Find more about Kat at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com. That's Kathleen with a K. OKEEFEKANAVOS. Or The Queen of Dreams on Google search.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe.